We begin tonight with the period this afternoon when the stop-go sign on State Highway 70 just outside Kaikoura turned from stop to go for the first time in almost 12 days. It didn't last. The traffic was slower than Auckland rush hour and it could only go one way, but it was long enough for people stranded in the town since just after midnight 2 Mondays ago to drive out. They were heading south, eventually for many of them to Christchurch, but first the still precarious trip along that road to Waio. Our reporter Sally Murphy and camerawoman Rebecca Parsons-King were at the roadblock as it opened and the first vehicles began slowly driving through.
Yeah, they'll finally be given the green light to go. We're actually at the cordon here, but further up the road, about 11 k's up, is the official cordon where the road is blocked. And cars, about 20 cars, are actually already leaving from there. The lighter cars have to go first. And then behind me, there's about 30 four-wheel drives. And as you can see, they're all going to leave sort of within the next 5 minutes. And the plan is for them to leave within 30-second gaps because obviously the road is still significantly damaged and they have to travel pretty slowly.
They have to travel slowly and they have to be separated, right, because there is still a risk of rockfall.
Yeah, like I said, the 30-second separation, and it's actually only 78 k's to Waio through this back road, but it's going to take them at least 4 hours, so that gives you a sign of how slow they're actually going to be travelling. Now, they've all been briefed and given this little piece of paper which has got all the rules on it. So they've all been registered here, they've been given numbers, and then on the other end they'll have to sort of sign in so that Downer and Civil Defence can make sure that everyone makes it through. But they've pretty much been told you have to drive for 4 hours straight, you can't stop. Even if you get a puncture, you've just got to keep going until there's a safe way to turn off.
78k in 4 hours, so they're going 20k an hour. It's extraordinary. That route is, to steal a phrase from Christchurch after their quakes, munted. Sally, who are they? Obviously it was some people who were visiting Kaikoura as tourists who were leaving, but are some locals getting out as well?
Yeah, we have spoken to a few locals who are pretty keen to get out of here as well. Obviously things in Kaikoura are starting to get back to normal, but there's no sewage, there's still no water, and food supplies are sort of running a bit low. So I think people are just eager to get back to normality, maybe go to Christchurch for a bit. But we also spoke to some elderly people in their camper vans who have just popped up here for the weekend and then obviously got stuck here for over 2 weeks with the earthquake. But also there's been a lot of tourists who are here on working holidays with their camper vans who just didn't want to leave their vans and helicopter out, and we spoke to a few of them earlier this morning.
Oh, we're quite keen to leave now. We've been here plenty long enough, yes.
And so why did you come down early?
Well, we thought that if there was a massive queue, they might get to the stage where they say too many. So we thought if we're early in the queue, it's not a bad idea.
And your camper van here, is it four-wheel drive?
No, but it is dual back wheels, which are good, yeah.
And so what if they say that you can't leave today?
Well, then we'll go back to where we stayed at these lovely people's place. Andrew and...
Donna Snow?
Yep, the other side of Kaikoura. They said, come back if you can't get through, we'd love to have you again.
Why do you want to get out today?
We want to get out to continue our journey. We arrived in New Zealand 3 weeks ago, so we spent the first week in the Northern Island, and then we stayed here for almost 2 weeks in Kaikoura. And we want to get out as fast as possible to continue discovering New Zealand.
How much longer are you here for?
3 months in total, 3 months. So we have 2 months and 1 week left.
And what if you can't get out today?
We will wait until the road opens because we don't have any choice.
Well, we're hoping to get out of Kaikoura and get back to our house because we've got a house in Wellington that we rent out and there's been a landslide there, so we like to see what's happened to that and then get home. We can't really travel around too much longer without a caravan because we've sort of geared ourselves for, that sort of staying, haven't we, Ray?
So why were you down this way?
We're going to a wedding in Twizel, which is today. So we're obviously not going to make that. So now we're change of plans, and so we'll head out to Reefton and up to the Nelson area and then go back to Masterton.
How will you feel if you get out today?
Relieved, really. But the stay here has been really good. We've stayed down at the campground just at the end here, and they've been marvellous. We've had hot showers and water virtually from the time that the earthquake happened. So out at Paqueta, we've stayed there.
And what if you can't get through today?
Well, we'll go back to the campground and look at it another day.
Or sleep in the
Sleep
in the ute.
Yeah.
We're all geared up for it.
So it depends on where we're
by
going.
ear.
You know, we're quite confident that we're going to get out today.
Does it worry you going along the road? Have you seen pictures of what it looks like?
Not a lot, but they wouldn't be opening up the road unless it was doable.
So, one by one, and it's fascinating to watch that little car behind you now, Sally. I mean, that is simply not only not an all-terrain vehicle, it's kind of hardly any sort of terrain vehicle as that's getting ready to do this extraordinary run. How are you getting out of there? Because there is a most unusual air service taking place at the moment, right?
Yeah, well, Sounds Air has been chartering in and out all week since the earthquake, so over the last 2 weeks. And for services like reporters, we're not that important, but also the Downer guys and some contractors have also been flying in and out of Christchurch and Blenheim. So basically what they do is they'll pick a load up from Christchurch Airport, fly here, it only takes about half an hour, drop us off, and then the next lot are ready to get on. The plane doesn't even turn off and we're out again. So we're actually heading off shortly and our next team is going to be dropped in.
That was Sally Murphy as people were setting out on that journey, 4 hours to do 78k. They have made it, or are making it as we speak, and we will speak to some of the people who've made the journey later in the program.